Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back once again to my F1 24 career mode journey, Season 3, Round 8, where F1's jewel in the crown. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. Now first things first, we have a couple of incidents from practice to show you. Firstly, here's Oliver Behrman locking up and going straight into the wall at Sandervoort and unfortunately losing his front wing and valuable practice time. But he manages to get it back underway and return to the pits, but he'll be there for a while for repairs. Secondly, I do exactly the same thing here. I'm currently on one of my long runs in practice, and then we just head into Sandervoort, brake way too late, and I try to go into the escape road, but unfortunately, we still plough into the wall there. Right, on to qualifying. And again, if you haven't seen the last instalment of Career Mode, do be sure to check that one out. And if you are new here, or you just want to catch up in general, there is a playlist, F1 24 Career Mode, where you can go back and watch previous installments. Right, our Q1 lap then. It's looking not brilliant, but I'm hoping that we can finish the lap better than what we started it. Heading out of Anthony Nose onto the straight that isn't really a straight, and, well, P17, that's dismal. So we are having to go again, and on our second attempt, we're already as much as 8/10 better than our first lap, and that's going to make all the difference when we cross the line, because we go up from 18th to 3rd, which just shows how close and how tight the full pack is. Mercedes are looking very strong here at the moment, as is Esteban Ocon. He was set to win Imola, don't forget, but then he made a pit stop on the last lap, which cost him the victory. But now back at qualifying Q2 here at Monaco, and pushing hard, nearly tapping the wall out of Raskas there. I've never seen anyone tap that particular wall, going as close to the pit wall as we dare, and that's P10. That should be just enough to get us through, and it is. I do feel like we could have gone maybe a tenth or two faster and got ourselves between Russell and Alonso. Charles Leclerc up in second. He's having a great day. Right, Q3. Pushing as hard as we can. I want to ideally be on the second row or third if possible. But we've hit the inside wall. Gone into the barrier at Casino Square. And that is qualifying over for us. And we have to settle for P10 on the grid. With the pace we were running, I think we could have had a second or third row, but it's P10 for the race on a circuit where overtaking is damn near impossible. This is going to be a tricky race.
Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo casino that first opened in 1863. And of course a certain road race first held in 1929. But there's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Russell, Sainz, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Sunshine, Ocon, Gasly, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Albon, Behrman, Magnussen, Joe, Tsunoda, and Teo Pourchaire. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Let's look.
Right, this track needs a lot of downforce, so it won't have as much top speed. The good news, though, is that it's going to make our DRS even more effective than normal.
39 laps ahead of us, P10. Are we going to be able to improve position? I'm hoping so. We are underway for the Monaco Grand Prix. We got an alright start. I need to make sure that Ocon doesn't try and find a way through. I was trying to have a look up the inside, but Piastri blocking that line. Gasly trying to go around the outside, not quite making that work. So we've held our position at least as we go up the hill towards Mirabeau and Casino Square. Piastri looking a bit wobbly there as Lando Norris and Fernando Alonso going wheel to wheel. We're having a look down the inside of Oscar Piastri. Are we going to be able to make that work? Kind of leaning on him a bit, but no, we're boxed in behind Lando Norris, and that gives Piastri the inside line. I have to go deep. Their McLarens are going side by side now. No way through there for Piastri and no way through there for us. Norris clips the inside wall there. He's a bit backed up, but we're not able to do anything. The circuit, way too narrow for that. Are we going to be able to have a look down the inside of the chicane? Yes, we are. Having a look down the inside of Piastri, but no way through there as Piastri, I'm pretty sure, cut the chicane there, but we're still stuck behind him. And Pierre Gasly on the hard tyres, he's going to be backing up Ocon a bit now as we head on to lap 4 out of 39. In fact, Gasly already 3 seconds behind us, so there is a gap developing between the top 10, and that's good for me, because if we can keep building that gap, it means that there's a nice space for me to come back out into when we pit. Following Oscar Piastri very closely. Like I said, the laps just go on, and you know you're losing second after second when you're stuck behind another driver. Desperation starts creeping as we have a look round the outside of the final corner. That does not work as Piastri bounces off the wall and bounces into me as well. So, not really a move that could work. We did, not for lack of trying though, as we now follow Oscar Piastri very closely round Casino Square, looking for any way path that we can take, but it just doesn't appear to be one. However, we can go down the inside of the Grand Hotel hairpin, leaning on Piastri a little bit there, but still no way through. Now we try an up and under into the right-hander here before the tunnel, and we get that move done up into P9. What is that? That is an overtake at Monaco, and this is how you have to do it. You can overtake, you just have to be chancy with it. And Pierre Gasly is there locking up and now fighting with Esteban Ocon, the former French teammates, with no love lost between them. Ocon up the inside, Gasly having to go to the outside, and Gasly has been passed now by Esteban Ocon, and he has gained P11, but there are no points for that as we now start hunting down Lando Norris. And unfortunately, that gap that we were building to Gasly, now Ocon is sort of there, and that's now, we're not really building that gap anymore as we catch up with Lando Norris. And I am thinking, can we get an undercut? The problem is, if you try and get an undercut too early at Monaco, you get stuck behind more cars, and you lose more time. As we now get ready to have a look at Lando Norris. No way through there, but I have decided to go with the undercut to try and take the risk. It does mean that we will have other cars to navigate, but I'm hoping that we can make this work. A 2.9 second pit stop then, 2.8 second pit stop should I say, sorry. Not too shabby, and we are going to head out in that, unfortunately, in that line of cars. But we do have, well, I did think we were going to have a little bit of clear track there. But no, we're right in the mix of it here, and we've just come out behind Zhou Guanyu in P18. So we've got a lot of overtaking potentially to do. We're in P19, sorry, it's Zhou that's in P18. Meanwhile, what is this we're watching? We're watching myself about to overtake the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, going down the inside of the Haas and completing that move. That is the Leclerc overtake. Next up, we're diving down the inside of Porsche. The fresh tyres are really helping us get the traction to get these moves done. That's 3 overtakes you've witnessed in this race so far. Aren't you lucky? Right, we've got a yellow flag just ahead of us. Someone is going up in smoke. I think that's Lance Stroll to the Aston Martin, out of the race again, and now we're right on the back of Oliver Behrman. But yeah, we get past, he pits that lap anyway, so we didn't get past him. Now we're chasing down Lewis Hamilton, and actually we have gained a couple of places in the pit stops, because on lap 19, when the pack is starting to pit, we're up into P6, or should I say effectively around about 5th, because Pierre Gasly needs to pit, and he's backing Lewis Hamilton up, and that's perfect for us because that's allowing us a chance to maybe get after the 7-time world champion, but we're going to have to really go for it. We're going to have to do what we need to make this move work. Gasly is backing him up. We might have to try and do it in the tunnel, using all of our battery. We are catching Hamilton. He is being backed up by Gasly. Down the inside we go. Have we made it work? No, we've clipped the inside wall. And Hamilton definitely cutting the chicane and staying ahead by doing so. I want to report that to the stewards. Meanwhile, back on the rear of Lewis Hamilton. I'm wanting to get this done while Gasly is backing him up. Down the inside we go, and this time we get the move done, and Hamilton just having to settle behind us. And here we go now. This is a replay of us just textbook overtake on Hamilton. He gives us the room, and up into what is effectively P4 we go, if we can get past Pierre Gasly as well. Like I said, he needs to pit, so I'm not really too fussed about getting past him, but we are losing a lot of time to George Russell. And now here we go up the hill towards Mirabeau. Is that going to work? No, that's never going to work. I don't even know why we attempted that. Warning collision with Gasly. We're ever so close. Look how many cars are close in this battle now as we dive down the inside once again in that right-hander and get the overtake done, slotting just ahead of Gasly, who is now in P5, and backing Hamilton up. We're now on lap 23, and for the first time in this Grand Prix, we have got some clear air, and it's time to see what this Ferrari can do. Charles Leclerc is in second, and Max Verstappen has just been dominating this race since it begun. He started second, but took the lead at turn 1. Here we go then, the first lap we have in clear air, and it's the fastest lap of the race. And now we're starting to catch George Russell. Can we catch him by the end of the race? With the pace we're running, it's definitely likely, isn't it? As we set a 1:12.0, the gap is now 8 seconds with 12 laps to go. It's quite a tall order, but we are catching him very, very quickly. It's like 8 or 9 tenths of a second a lap that we're taking out of the Mercedes, and suddenly this car has come alive in this stage of the Grand Prix as we're heading towards the closing stages. It's just come alive. Our pace has come alive, and by lap 36 we are on the back of the Mercedes, so we have been able to catch George Russell. Such is the pace, but we clip the inside wall there and lose about a half a second, should I say, doing that. But we should still be able to stay right with George Russell towards the end stage of the race. It's lap 38, and we're really not giving him any room to breathe at all. I want P3. Can we nab it in these closing stages? It's going to be worth a go, isn't it? Down the inside of George Russell we go, and we take the position, moving up into P3. That was a brilliant overtake. Maybe a bit chancy, maybe a bit of a dive bomb, but we caught George Russell napping and moved up into the top 3. A result I did not think would be likely starting in P10 at Monaco, but we've made overtakes work. We've pushed the car as hard as we can in the closing stages, and would you believe it, that's not the circuit, but would you believe it, we are about to get a podium here at Monaco. But Max Verstappen in P1, he was untouchable from the starting grid to the finish. He wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is going to finish second, but we are going to finish third here, despite whacking the barrier at the final corner and go from P10 to P3. Oh, I will happily take that all day long.
Top job, yes. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but man, you pulled through. Thank you, well done.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
Well, it all came good in the end for them, but it wasn't an easy start. Not the most straightforward of days, but I think it shows great strength in an athlete, as a driver, when you can overcome a day like this and walk away still with a victory.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sports that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
What a race. I'm so happy with that. All about making the right strategy call at the right time to go for the undercut and making the overtakes count. Because of all that, we go from P10 to P3, but as you can see, Max Verstappen won the race, Charles Leclerc gets second, we get third, Russell fourth, Hamilton fifth, and then it's Sainz, Perez, Alonso and the two McLarens completing the top 10. I'm so proud of that drive. I feel like that is one of the best drives I've ever done in career mode, and especially to do it at Monaco, such a tough circuit. Like I said, I will take that all day long. What it means in the championship is that Max Verstappen has taken a small nibble out of my championship lead, but given the size of the bite I was worried that he'd be taking before the race, like I said, I'll take it. So Verstappen now moves to 34 points within the lead. Leclerc is 47 points behind. Russell is fourth in the standings, and it's Piastri, Norris, Alonso, Hamilton, Stroll and Carlos Sainz completing the top 10 in the championship, with Ocon and Behrman close behind. And Ollie was actually quite close to a point in this race by finishing 11th, but it just wasn't meant to be. Well, thank you very much, as always, for watching this instalment of Career Mode. There are your constructors' standings. Don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more content from me. And until the next time, I have been Joe, TTFN, Tata for now, take care, and I'll see you all very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.